Welcome to the locker room.
Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy.
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
The bench, coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
Good morning, everybody, and welcome into the locker room with Billy Schwein. And it's the return of the locker room youth movement. Producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds. We are back together again in the studio after an 18-week season, football season at the Tropicana. We are back together here in the studio. Good morning, Danny Ryan. How are you?
Good morning, Billy. How we doing today?
All right, man.
It's nice to see your face, not over a computer screen now.
And look who's back.
Or maybe it's not nice to see your face.
Not after I give you my prediction later on.
Yeah, right. Yeah,
And
the
then look
intern's
at
back,
the
baby.
Intern, Andrew Leeds. What's up, man?
Hey, it's good to be back.
What's going
man.
on,
It's been a little
stranger? How we
minute, but-
doing?
No, I'm excited to be back, man. It's been
Well, a
minute.
lot has happened since the last time the three of us have been reunited. The Eagles got off to a 10-1 start, only to have the wheels fall off the train. Of course, I wrote the article on 97.3 ESPN.com every Friday, and I said that there's no enthusiasm for this playoff game. Am I correct in saying that, guys?
Oh, 100%.
Right?
There is
Yeah.
no juice behind this game at all.
No juice at all. I
Yeah.
mean, I saw the Eagles bus traveling around. I didn't see anybody near it.
Yeah,
it was in Haddon Township the other day.
Oh,
Yeah, even I saw they posted, their yearly playoff hype video, and they even had Jason Kelsey narrating it. And I'm not gonna lie, it didn't do that much for me watching it. Normally, those pump me up and get me fired up.
right.
Now,
to
let's
watch the
preface
Eagles
this by
play.
saying we are all diehard Eagles fans.
Oh.
You've got your Eagles green on. You've got your Eagles green on. I got my ESPN locker room shirt, but it has an Eagle guy
Oh,
on
it's
it.
got
right?
it.
It's got the Eagle on there.
Yeah.
So we are fired up for the game, but there's no enthusiasm. I just don't feel like because of what we've seen the last 6 weeks, and even further back than that. Now I keep referencing. Mike Gill had Angelo Cataldi on earlier in the year, and they had him on his podcast as well. And Angelo said something very poignant that I thought it just resonated with me. He said we haven't been watching good football all season. Because even if you look at week 3, the Tampa Bay Buccaneers game on Monday night, the score was 25-11. Jalen Hurts didn't play well. I mean,
Yeah.
he threw 2 interceptions. His quarterback rating was 71.
They ran the ball really
But
well.
they ran the ball well. They haven't been able to run the ball well since maybe 2-3 weeks after that, and that's it.
Well, it's not even that they haven't been able to run the ball well. They just haven't been able to run the ball on a consistent enough
On a
level.
consistent
they're
basis.
they're not calling enough runs. It seems like whenever DeAndre Swift gets a little bit of wind behind him, they just kind of go right back to the passing game, which I don't really understand.
DeAndre Swift back on September
130,
25th.
130 yards, right?
Yeah, he had 130 yards on just 16 carries. Kenny Gainwell even got 14
A.J. Brown had
carries.
over 100 yards
Yeah.
receiving that day.
9 for 131 for A.J. Brown.
Okay, but no touchdowns.
No touchdown. He hasn't had a touchdown since November 26th, the game against the Bills.
Now,
when they
that's
won
the elephant
overtime.
in the room, isn't it, fellas? He's ruled out for Monday night's game.
Yes.
And Dave Clement yesterday on this show, former Kansas City Chiefs wide receiver Dave Clement, who's played in the NFL, said that sometimes when you lose a star like that, one of your better players, sometimes the team rallies around what you have, and they maybe shorten the playbook or consolidate the playbook, if you will, and they do what they do well.
I mean, we saw that ourselves back in 2018 when Carson Wentz went down.
Right?
I mean, the Eagles offense, Frank Reich and Doug Pearson, they simplified the
There you
play
go.
calling, and the team rallied around Nick Foles, and you saw what happened. Unfortunately, the opposite, though, I feel like could happen as well.
Right. Yeah, I mean, here's the thing with this offense. I feel like it's already so dumbed down and simplified. They have 4 plays they run. So it's like, how are you going to simplify and tweak this offense even more without an A.J. Brown? But maybe it's just a matter of, all right, we can't go for a deep ball to A.J. Brown. We can't go for the big play to A.J. one-on-one in man coverage. So let's do the little things. And I'd love to see that, but I feel like they've already been doing the little things with these screen passes.
Oh, the screen passes are like, even last night, like the Miami Dolphins. And by the way, that game, I was shivering in my house watching those
Oh,
guys.
just the smoke coming out of their mouths.
Oh
I
my
mean,
God, it was
oh.
crystallized. Did you see Andy Reid's mustache?
Yeah.
It was
Oh my, I
frozen.
did.
There was
Completely
icicles
frozen.
hanging off the big man's mustache.
Dude, it was unreal. And even the fans in the stands had icicles from their mustache. I didn't know it was.
Look, I've been into some cold games at the vet and the link. I have been, and I remember one game was so cold. Might have been the NFC Championship game, or I think it was New Year's Eve. I can't remember exactly when it was, but it was so cold. But we had the whiskey going, and I remember having my gloves off because I was so
Really?
fired up. Yeah, and they won that game. So, but it wasn't minus 32 or minus 27.
I mean,
it
was a
that was the fourth coldest
the
game
fourth
ever.
coldest game
the
of all time.
it's crazy. That's the fourth coldest game ever because it was literally not even just from the wind chill. It was -5. The wind chill made it feel like -25. I can't even imagine.
It looked
that.
to
And it
me
was
like
windy. There were like 15 miles per hour winds
Right.
on top of that cold weather.
it looked to me like the Kansas City Chiefs welcomed the weather. Mahomes looked like he was extra fired up to prove that this is it's not going to defeat us. Because you got to think that in the back of the Miami Dolphins' minds, we're like, we got to just get this game over and get the heck out of there.
Right.
Did you get that feeling?
Oh, eventually, yeah. When
Eventually.
they went down, it was like, dude, can we just figure this out and try and get out of this cold? Because they knew they weren't coming back. And Tua, to his credit, was still trying and trying to like at least put up a moral victory touchdown just to like get himself feeling better about himself and the team. But yeah, as soon as they went down 2 scores, you could tell their demeanor just changed. They wanted to get out of that sub-degree weather.
And the Cleveland Browns, I thought they were winning. I turned the game on.
That shocked me.
That was shocked. They were winning. I think they were winning like 14-0 when I turned it on.
I think it was 14-10.
14-10.
14-10. So it was
14-10.
a back and forth.
Yeah, it was
game,
back and forth. And then once he threw those 2 back-to-back interceptions, the game was
not even
much.
interceptions. They were pick sixes. I mean,
Yeah,
that's like
right.
14-point swing out of nowhere.
That's what made it even worse because Flacco threw the interceptions. And typically, you have some time to think about it on the sideline and think about how you're going to correct it. He threw a pick 6, went back out there, threw another one, and then said, all right, well, let me try and not do that a third time here. Come on.
Now, if he would have come on my show, he would probably have better luck. Right? Because I played football against Steve Flacco, his father.
Really?
I played Little League baseball against him. I played Babe Ruth baseball against Steve. We were foes in football growing up the whole way. Steve's cousin grew up right around the corner from my house. We used to play flashlight tag. And so I said, Steve, I called up Steve. I said, this is a little while back when he was an Eagle, when Joe Flacco was an Eagle.
Right. For like
my daughter went to school with Joe Flacco's son at St. Rosa Lima.
Wow.
I sat next to him at the graduation. Come on my show.
You got to get him on the show.
He goes, well, I've had him on twice total.
Okay.
But years ago. But I said, Steve, Joe, come on. He goes, I don't like to do interviews. I'm kind of shy, and I don't like that. The next day I see him on Action News interviewing people.
Oh, you wanted Steve on the show?
No, I wanted Joe.
Oh, okay. I was going to say.
He said he was, he kind of downplayed.
I mean,
and the next night I turn Action News on. He's interviewing somebody. Like, so you know what?
He probably would have
goes around, comes around.
He would have been more inclined to come on the show if he went on a little bit of a run because he told his teammates something along the lines of, these next 5 weeks are going to be special. Well, you got one game.
I actually was pulling for. I was pulling.
I was
pulling for the Browns. I was pulling for Joe Flacco.
Yeah.
Local Jersey kid. It's a cool story. I mean, you saw it was the longest gap between playoff starts for quarterback. It's been 9 years since his last playoff start.
So we got a great show lined up today. Of course, at the bottom of the first hour, we get the keys to the game with Scott Grayson, brought to you by Blitz's Market. Hour 2, we'll talk with the fantasy football guru Brian Hartley. He's got the daily fantasy football going, and we'll talk to him about that. The fantasy football will also give his thoughts on Monday night's Eagles game. We had so much to talk about. The Flyers last night, the Sixers, they have a game tomorrow, Martin Luther King Day. I believe they tip it off at 1:00. But the Flyers, I am enthusiastic about this Drysdale. I like the trade. Look, if you don't want, if Gauthier didn't want to play on the Flyers, for whatever reason, he didn't want to play on the team. By the way, Matthew Barnaby, who used to be vilified in this town, ends up putting a tweet out there, sticking up for the Flyers and sticking up for the city of Philadelphia as a great sports town. He loved coming here and getting booed. He couldn't imagine why this kid would want to play for a city of champions.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's weird that, like, he, the thing that makes me the most annoyed is that he lied to the Flyers and said that he did want to play in Philly before we drafted him, just to turn his back 2 years later for no real reason, it seems. So
Well,
that's why
they interviewed him and he said he thought it would be best for his career. There's nothing really concrete that I
Yeah.
thought.
yeah, he kind of avoided the question.
He said it was multiple reoccurring things, or
Right.
just something that didn't sit right with him. Which, whatever, the guy can feel the way he wants to feel. But the day you're drafted, to say I was born to be a Flyer,
right,
and then to backtrack on that,
Like,
like
I
you
mean,
laid
come
your
on,
bed,
man.
Or pardon me, you made your bed laying
So,
it.
fellas, are we excited about the Flyers? I think they're for real. They
yeah.
go to Minnesota. They're down 3-1,
That was a great
and they
comeback.
come back. Travis Konechny made one of the most prettiest passes I've ever seen. It was a 2-on-1. He puts it between the legs of the defender to Farabee going towards the net with a tip in. They win in Minnesota and have to fly to Winnipeg that night, only to play the very next night against the Winnipeg Jets, who had won 8 games in a row.
They're on a 14-game point streak. as well.
14-game point streak, and they shut them down without Drysdale, without Couturier.
Yeah.
What Torts would say.
What?
This team's got balls.
Play it, man.
There's-
I told you to save that.
I gotta
You
pull
gotta
it
find
up.
it. Pull
We'll
that
pull
up.
it up during the break,
The
but
whole show, because we can even
He's
use
right.
that for the Eagles, because they need a pair.
no,
Because I don't think they've been playing with a pair.
No, they haven't. The entire team has it. And just real quick, my thoughts on the Drysdale trade. I think this is a great trade for the position they were put in. You got a second-round pick on top of it. I'm sure the Flyers asked, but if I'm them, I say, all right, give me Drysdale in a first and Cutter's yours. They probably did that and got beat down to a second, but you made the best of the situation. Like you
The guy
said,
can skate like the wind.
I was just about to say that. Like you said before we got in the
Brilliant
air, and you
minds
just said
think
right
alike.
now. Yeah, right. He can skate so well. It's so natural for him. And it might not be the flashy pick because he's not a forward. He's not going to be this, I want to say huge goal scorer. He'll still get his goals from
I
time
think
to
he's more of a
time.
quarterback, a lead,
Right.
Like a
No, but we talked about his first game at the Wells Fargo Center.
Did
His
you?
first game as a Flyer. He
Right.
made a nonchalant pass that didn't look like anything crazy, but that's what was so special about it because it was his natural
No,
instinct
he
to
got
do
the
that.
pass and gave it right back.
Right.
Like bink,
Yeah.
bink, like a
Exactly.
tic-tac-toe type thing, which is something that's called hockey instinct.
Doesn't look
Yeah.
flashy.
It
but
doesn't
it's
look flashy,
exactly
but
what
it
you
gets
need to
the
do.
job
It's
done.
it's the fact that he has that natural chemistry with a teammate that he's only been known
Right.
for 24 hours. And he
Yeah.
can just make that pass with ease.
Less is more.
Don't get me wrong, Gauthier is still going to be a stud, I think, if his work ethic
Do you
or
think so?
attitude doesn't get in the way.
Well, that's a
But
big if, isn't it? Now?
It is.
Because
But
what happens if things don't start to go his way? He seems, and by the way, I'm not going to say who said this, but somebody that I know that is in the NHL told me, you want to get Canadian players. He said that.
yeah, I still think he's
Like
going to be
the
a
kid
good
that was
player.
raised on a farm as opposed to somebody
Right.
that was like mommy and daddy took to all the rinks.
Right.
And, you know what I mean? Like,
There are some what ifs with Drysdale too. I mean, he hasn't been able to stay healthy really the past
Well,
2
that's a knock
years. So
on
we'll
him.
see if he can do that.
we got a great
Yeah.
show lined up today. We're going to have a lot of fun. The Locker Room Youth Movement is back with us. It's a sunny Sunday morning, wild card weekend. We'll get into it all. The first hour of the Locker Room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. Surety is an industry-wide leader with a team of experts that will help you through the entire process, from contract signing to closing with the shortest center city and every place in between. Surety Title is there for you. With 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA, that's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Now, I'm here to tell you about La Scala's Beach House. This place is sensational. The food's unbelievable. So La Scala's Beach House is in Brigantine. It opened this summer. Rave reviews. It's your home away from home for a large selection of Italian-American and seafood favorites, just like your grandma made. Plus, you'll love their famous pizza, their daily specials, and their game day menu. Eat in or take out at La Scala's. They're open Wednesday through Sunday, 1400 Ocean Avenue in Brigantine. Every Thursday night is Brigantine night. Live music from 6 to 9 p.m. One free signature pizza per table. That's a great deal. Drink specials include $2 Miller Lite, $3 Peronis, $4 house wines. That's LaScalasBeachHouse.com for the menu. Let's eat. When we return, we'll continue with more here in the Locker Room with Billy Schweim in the Locker Room Youth Movement, producer Danny Ryan, and the intern Andrew Leeds right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles playoff football. It's the Super Wildcard round as the Eagles travel to Tampa to face the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football.
First and 10 Bucs. Mayfield back, dancing around. He is set back at the 30. Fletcher Coxon, Jalen Carter.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7. Merrill and Mike call all the playoff action starting at 8:50. This is South Jersey's official home for Eagles playoff football. 97.3 ESPN. Brought to you by
GMS Law. Make the right call with 4 convenient locations to serve you and at gmslaw.com. Boardwalk Honda. Shop our lineup of new pre-owned and certified pre-owned Hondas online at boardwalkhonda.com. The Fan Zone at Sun Valley Pools. Unique fan gear and gifts for every fan of every team. Cape Regional Health System. Your healthcare partner for a healthier life in Cape May County. Jersey Shore Federal Credit Union. Choose better banking. And South Jersey Gas.
97.3 ESPN FM is your official home in South Jersey for Eagles football.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Rhymes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia Star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Rhymes, specializing in buying and selling vacation homes, single-family homes, condominiums, and duplexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Rhymes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Hi, this is Brian Propp, Flyer Hall of Famer. My wife, Eileen, and I opened a new health business in Marlton, New Jersey called Prime IV Hydration and Wellness.
Prime IV offers a range of IV hydration therapies designed to enhance your well-being, appearance, and performance. Look better, feel better, and perform better. Did you know that when you take oral vitamins, you only get 20 to 30% of the nutrients? IV therapy provides 100% absorption immediately into your bloodstream. Call us today at 856-545-1122 to get a free consult from our registered nurses. Again, 856-545-1122 to book your appointment or follow us on Facebook.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson & Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical, they're number one.
Winning means keeping our community safe. I'm Hassan Reddick, linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. 59% of our adults report experiencing gun violence or know someone who has. Just like we focus on our training, we need to focus on proper gun storage.
Firearms should be locked out of reach of children and only accessible by you. If you notice any warning signs of violence, speak up. Tell someone who can help.
Let's tackle gun violence together. Visit CamdenCounty.com/gun safety to learn more.
Get your game on. Booking games in Ocean Casino Resort this football season. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Get in on the parlay while in the middle of a party. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screens. Go to the gallery. Go to Ocean. Go for the win. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
You're listening to The Locker Room. ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schweim in the Locker Room Youth Movement. Producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds. We are back together, reunited, and it feels so good. I just wish that we were a little bit more excited and really into this wild card weekend. You young guys got to pump me up, man. Come on.
It's like I'm pumped up for playoff football. I'm always going to be pumped up for playoff football, especially when the Eagles are involved. But it's tough. Like this team hasn't had a rhythm.
Yeah,
to get me pumped up in a month.
Like you watch the Flyers. Like the enthusiasm. Did you Cam Atkinson hasn't scored a goal in some time, and all of a sudden he gets 2 goals last night in a game where they needed the role players to step up, and he gets 2 goals and they win 2-0. But you can just feel like you can look at this team, the eye test, the vibe they get. The Eagles have none of that.
What, did you see the viral video of them doing the train during practice? They all kind of locked arms and put their sticks around each other.
No,
and they were
but that's
skating
fun.
in
That's what you
unison, going
need.
shoot, shoot. And like, dude,
That's right.
these guys love each other.
Because at the end of the day, you guys, it's a kid's game. They're playing a game, not practice.
Playoffs.
You know what I mean? Playoffs.
Yeah.
But the Flyers have that. They have
Even
it.
the Sixers too. I mean, their vibes are flying high right now. I know Embiid's been out the past few games.
And I'm glad you brought that up because the other day when they played Sacramento, and Sacramento's a good team.
Oh yeah.
But Mark Bamba, the game Bamba, he had the game he played. Marcus Morris Sr. These guys they're I don't know. They just have it. It was
Nick
fun
Batum.
to watch. Nick Batum.
See, I've seen people say before, which I wholeheartedly agree, that the complaint with the Sixers in years past is that none of those teams ever felt like a Philly team. With the Sixers,
Yeah, this feels like a Philly team.
This
Good point.
feels like a Phillies team. I mean, you got Patrick Beverly, an absolute dog.
I love Beverly.
He cracks open a cold one after every win.
Yeah.
Like at the press conference.
Yep.
Like that's a Philly.
By the way, guys,
guy.
back in the day, so when Taka got traded to the Pittsburgh Penguins, I drove his car out. I've told you this story before, but I don't know if I ever went this far. When I went into their locker room, they had this wraparound couch in front of a big screen TV. They had two big refrigerators on either side of the TV. And guess what was in the refrigerator? Stocked full of beer. Guys came off the practice ice, and guess what? It was like a country club.
Yeah.
And that's how you set the vibes high in the locker room. I mean,
they don't do that anymore because these
For
sports, because the money,
obvious reasons.
obviously reasons, but the money, all these sports are 100 for the players are 365. It's a year-round job. It's not just like back in the day, they would go to training camp to get in shape, right? To get ready for the season. Now you better come into shape or you're out.
That's what I was gonna say. A lot of players nowadays don't even drink just to keep, stay in shape, let alone drink in the middle of practice when they're trying to stay
Right. Which
conditioned
leads
as they
me
can
to
be.
another topic. Practice. We heard during the week, Hargrave said that the Eagles practices weren't that tough, that the 49ers practices are a lot tougher.
Yeah, he said
What do you make of that, Danny Ryan?
I don't love it. I mean, when times are as low as they are right now, you don't love it. But last year they did the same exact thing.
And then Sirianni comes out and puts them in pads for show.
Yeah, they went through. I think it was Wednesday.
They didn't
did a
do any
practice.
hitting.
They did a practice instead of a walkthrough that they typically do on Wednesdays. I don't know. I mean, like when it was working last year, and we didn't bat an eye. We didn't complain once. They were what 14-3, walked to the Super Bowl.
Maybe.
And
just
maybe it's these young guys that need to practice and they don't need walkthroughs like that. Let's be honest, those walkthroughs were designed for the vets.
That's right.
Keep them healthy and keep them spry come game day.
That's
and now
right.
these young guys.
Did you say spry? The word spry.
I did say
like
spry.
that. Good word.
I did say spry.
Good word.
Now these young guys, they need reps and they're not getting them in practice.
And
they're
I
getting
think the young
exposed on
guys
game
need
day.
discipline.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I'm tired of beating up on the young guys because how about Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat?
Hassan Reddick still has 11 sacks.
Yeah, but I mean, no wonder the secondary is getting cooked.
When's the
They
last
have no
time Sweat
pressure.
had a sack?
November 5th.
November 5th. What's
When
wrong
Dallas
with him?
came to Philadelphia.
He's a tested veteran. He's not. He's not a young. I mean.
Oh, 100%. So, like, at what point do we blame it on the vets? I mean, you could talk about Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey, Fletcher Cox, as well as far as the leadership goes. I'm sure they're doing their best they can in that locker room. But, I mean, if you're not getting pressure on the quarterback with this secondary, no wonder the outcomes of the games are and
it's obvious
resulting
to see
in the way they
guys,
are.
It's obvious to see that T.J. Edwards and Kazir White are sorely missed.
Yes.
They're both.
But if you're going to pay your quarterback, excuse me, if you're going to pay your quarterback $250 million, you got to cut other places. Isn't that correct?
Yeah, I mean, I still feel like they could have maybe made more of an effort to bring back at least one of those guys, but obviously they felt with Nakobe Dean.
They don't
who's been
value the
injured.
linebacker spot.
No,
they never
don't.
have.
And they were expecting more out of Nakobe Dean, who's been dealing with injuries. I mean, we haven't had him pretty much the whole season, it feels like. And then you got guys on the low with like Zach Cunningham and Nicholas Morrow, and they're just not quite talented enough to carry that linebacker.
Guys, we've been told how great this offensive line is, but you watch Baldy's breakdowns, and I keep referring back to I love Baldy, and I watch his breakdowns because Baldy's like a coach for like the layman, for like the regular fan. You go on his Twitter account at Baldy NFL and watch his breakdowns, and you can see exactly. Look, the players know in the film room who's doing their job and who's not.
Well, did you hear what Baldy said? He goes, a guy at the bar in South Philly could call a player, predict a play that's coming from Brian Johnson's offense.
Yes.
We got a text from Jeff in Ocean City. He said, I've said this on other shows on 97.3, but if Dallas and Detroit win today, then I hope the Eagles lose tomorrow. He has no interest in watching a game at San Francisco on a short week, along with San Francisco having 14 days of rest. If Dallas
look, as much
Detroit
as
lose, he's back.
All right, I get that, but as much as the Eagles, like, I don't have any enthusiasm. We still want them to win.
Yeah,
I still want. Come on, guys. If they win tomorrow night, the enthusiasm will be back. And obviously, they've got a mountain to climb. But what if they just hypothetically? What if they put a good game together and they look like the Eagles of old?
I mean, yeah, that's what I've been saying this whole time. Is just show me anything, and I'll be back in on this.
Give me a heartbeat, a pulse, nothing.
Right. Give me a pulse.
Give me a pulse.
Stop waving the white flag.
It's like you got those. You know those. What's that thing you put on the chest? Clear.
Whatever that is.
Whatever that's called. That's what the Eagles need on their chest.
Exactly what you're talking about. Yep.
Clear.
Yeah. See, like, I'm not.
But even if they beat the Bucs like convincingly tomorrow, why are we going to feel good? Let's just say Jeff's text, going to face San Fran on 14 days rest.
But if they look good, if they look like the Eagles of old, yeah, then they can beat anybody.
The Eagles look good going into the San Fran week, and then they just collapsed. They looked the best they had all season.
But they also were kind of stumbling into.
Well, yes, it was ugly wins.
I have no expectations for a win on tomorrow night. I don't care, even though the Bucs are probably the worst. I say this tongue in cheek, I guess, the worst playoff team in the playoffs, because the Eagles haven't shown me much more.
Based off
because
the last 6 weeks.
At least the Bucs have won 5-1 in their last 6 weeks.
Yeah, I mean, just in the NFC alone, you have the Packers at 9-8 and the Bucs at 9-8, and you could argue the Eagles are worse than both of those teams right now.
Right,
it's crazy.
Yeah. All right, on the other side, we're going to talk with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, brought to you by Blitz's Market. We'll get his take. He's been with us all year. We'll see what he says. I want to remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety Title provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 to give the Ocean City office a call, 609-399-1227. Now, I'm here to tell you about the Stanton Insurance Group. SIG protection. Are the what-ifs keeping you up at night? Life is full of surprises, but with the Stanton Insurance Group, you'll never be caught off guard. Whether it's protecting your home, automobile, or business, Stanton will help you select the right insurance coverage at the right price to give you and your family peace of mind when you need it the most. Visit sigprotection.com for a free quote today. That's SIG protection.com. All right, when we return, we'll talk with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Danny Ryan, and the intern Andrew Leeds right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. with Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Small.
What are our thoughts on Pop-Tarts? Are we pro Pop-Tarts?
What's your favorite one? Oh, the s'mores.
Strawberry.
If you tell me what's your favorite Pop-Tart, you're going to tell me a lot about you. The s'mores Pop-Tart is number one on the list. Close second is the frosted strawberry. Not the naked strawberry, the frosted strawberry.
Or
raspberry or cherry.
Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Go Lenigan. Go Lenigan.
Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, the pizza you're gonna love. It's got the freshest taste, it's a lively place. Rendezvous Pizza, this one right nearby. Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, like you never had before. Eat it or take it home, no matter where you go. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find. Rendezvous Pizza, the tastiest you'll find.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, subs, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest goodbye. Randazzo's Pizza, the tastiest.
Hey everybody, Tim Chu with ticksforgood.org. How would you like to go to the Final Four? That's right, at ticksforgood.org, we are giving away 2 tickets to the men's basketball Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona. Go to ticksforgood.org to learn how you can enter to win 2 tickets to the men's basketball Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona, round-trip airfare, and 3 nights accommodations. This prize is brought to us locally by Tri-City Kitchens, South Jersey's leader in custom cabinetry. Visit ticksforgood.org to learn how to win.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card, good for use at Jester's Dive Bar for just $25.
This great deal is on sale now at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
SeizeTheDeal.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live in the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, the Locker Room Youth Movement, producer Danny Ryan, and the intern Andrew Leeds. We're back together again. And
boys are back in town.
The boys are back in town, and now throughout the football season, every Sunday, we've had the opportunity to talk with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News, brought to you by Blitz's Market. Scott is with us today. We get the keys to the game with Scott Grayson, sponsored by Blitz's Market, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, and their vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the Locker Room and get $1 off their 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That's Blitz's Markets, 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Go down there and say hello to Dave and Joe Newman. Let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome into the Locker Room our good buddy Scott Grayson. Good morning, Scott.
Good morning, Billy. How are we doing today?
Well, Scott, I got to tell you, it's a little melancholy for me because it could be the end of our relationship this year. And I'm not feeling too good, Scott. I'm not confident. I wrote an article for 97.3ESPN.com on Friday. I said there's no enthusiasm for this game. I mean, Scott, I saw the Eagles van, the bus that drives around. It pulled into Westmont, Haddon Township, New Jersey. There was nobody there.
Well, yeah, it's. I think that's pretty well sums up how everybody's feeling. You don't want to take. I talked about this with the guys this week in the locker room. I was asking them about it. You don't want to take these opportunities for granted because there's a lot of people not playing in the playoffs right now. In fact, 2 teams just went home yesterday. So you have an opportunity here, and they don't always come around. Now, this team has been in the playoffs 6 of the last 7 years, in the Super Bowl last year. There's a lot of things to build on here, but there is also a lot of concern, and that I get, and there's a lot of anxiety. My confidence is starting to grow a little bit, Billy. It's because you drew pretty much the worst team in the entire field of the playoffs. That's part of it. Number 2, you got Baker Mayfield, and everybody's been focused on the Eagles right now, and A.J. Brown, and he's out. Baker Mayfield is he doesn't scare me when he's healthy. And I know he's, to his credit, has played well at the end of the season. But he's banged up. He was limited in practice. Didn't practice one day, limited to the other 2. He is listed as questionable with ankle and rib injuries. Mm-hmm. Now, if I'm Baker Mayfield, I'm not too afraid of the Eagles because their pass rush hasn't been able to get to any kind of old lady sitting in a pocket lately. So in terms of taking hits, I don't think he has to fear a lot of that over what the Eagles have shown lately. However, if they can get to him and they can hit him and make him move around a little bit, he has a history as it is when he's healthy of throwing the ball up and giving you an opportunity to pick it off. I think there's opportunities to be had there. Not only that, the weather forecast. So it's as if the football gods are yelling at Brian Johnson, run the ball. You got a weather forecast that's going to feature a lot of rain and some storms. You've got no A.J. Brown. Run the ball. I mean, DeAndre Swift in week 3 ran up a lot of yards on the.
Scott Grayson, how long have you been saying run the ball for?
I've been asking for DeAndre Swift just to get his touches. To me, that's like 15 to 20 touches.
Right.
Earlier in the year, it was happening. Last week, obviously, he was out with an illness. So that's another reason. He's even, he hasn't played in 2 weeks. Like, the guy's rested and ready to go. Like, will you just put this game on his shoulders?
Scott, the last time they played on a Monday night on week 3, gassed him for 130 yards.
Exactly. I mean, the blueprint is there. The thing that concerns me the most is the defense. Because number one, they haven't gotten the pass rush that they need to have. Number two, they haven't stopped the run well. This is a game that, like I said, with the weather forecast, is going to dictate probably more run plays. And number three, they've missed tackles a lot. But there's really one guy, maybe two on this team you got to worry about. Mike Evans is the one who scares me with the Bucs. But if Baker's, not 100% and you can kind of get him to move around a little bit, you got Slay back who's rested. He hasn't played in a while. He knows he's going to be on Mike Evans a lot. My confidence is building, Billy, in this game in particular. Now, after that, we can get into that. Next
but what I said to the guy? But Scott, we were talking with Scott Grayson from Fox 29 News. I said to the locker room youth movement, I said, guys, if the Eagles come out and they look like a football team, they look like they're firing and also they play a good game where they make you feel good, then they show me that, then I'll be happy, I'll be enthused, even though they got to go to San Francisco. We'll still be more enthused about their chances than we are right now.
A little bit. I don't know if I mean, what they need to do here, Billy, is obviously you got some young guys on the team. Anytime you're trying to build, you've got veterans, you've got young guys. The young guys need to learn what it takes to win some of these games. Jalen Carter needs to learn what it takes to win a playoff game. Jordan Davis saw some of that last year, but it certainly wouldn't hurt him to see another, playoff victory. There's a lot here. You got to learn how to play on the road. Last year, the Eagles, they won everything at home. In the playoffs, there's things here that you can take away, and certainly winning a game like this would be a building block. Not the least of which, look, Nick Sirianni is coaching for his job. Let's be honest. Jeffrey Lurie has been spending more time on the sidelines lately, and that's not just because he's like, yeah, it's a nice day outside, a little chilly. I'll come outside and watch the team practice. He's watching everything right now. He is not happy that this team has gone from 10-1 to
rightly so. And rightly so.
There's a lot here, and there's a lot under the surface that you can kind of watch for in this game. And once they get through it, I think just a little bit of confidence could go a long way towards beating another team next week if they can get there. But they've got to show me a lot here this week for me to get there. I'm just saying they're playing what I view as the worst team in the playoff field, and it's an opportunity for them to go out and get a win that they so badly need.
Well, first off, Scott, I want to thank you for being with us here on Sunday, day before the Eagles wild card playoff game. Second off, I want to say you're completely overreacting. Jeffrey Lurie definitely just wants to look at the dead grass at the Novacare complex.
There's a lot of it out there.
Dead grass is nice.
Yeah.
No, but I want to take that and ask you how you feel about Nick Sirianni, regardless of what you've been seeing around the complex, around the buildings. How do you feel about Nick Sirianni possibly not being the Eagles head coach by next season? Which camp are you in right now?
If I were Jeffrey Lurie, a lot of my decision would be based on talking to the guys who I value, my veteran leaders, right? And there's a big question there. Has he lost the locker room? And I can't answer that. I don't know for sure if he has it or not. He doesn't have the locker room as well as he did last year or earlier in this season. That I can guarantee. But is it salvageable? Is it something that can be built back up? At the very least, I think we're definitely looking at two new coordinators here. I don't see any reason why or how they are back. The question is whether Nick Sirianni is back, because he lost the ability to lead this team and the guys who he has to have back here. I don't know that for sure, and I think that a lot of that decision would be based on, like I said, conversations with players. Should Nick be given another chance? You know, you only get so many windows where you have a roster. And as much as you look at it and say he got to the Super Bowl last year, and really they should have won it, you go, am I willing to invest another year of something not going well? When you have, Jalen Hurts in his prime, when you have, and coming back even healthier next year, there's a lot to evaluate here. Do I think he deserves another year? I think it deserves a lot of thought. And I think this game, and I hear people say, you can't decide Nick Sirianni's fate on one game. And I agree to that. It has to be the whole picture. But when you take this game and marry it to the whole second half of this season, I think this game does go a long way towards figuring out whether or not you keep him. Was he able to turn they were all saying it's 0-0. You got a new season now. It's win or go home. We were pushing the reset button. Okay. Did they? How did they do that? Or did they not and just continue marching to the same beat they were on before? I think this game does go a long way towards deciding whether or not Nick Sirianni's back. And if they win it, I don't necessarily think that guarantees he is.
Yeah, good morning, Scott. This is Andrew Leeds here. And I was going to ask, you brought up the veteran leadership that this team has. You mentioned Brandon Graham, Jason Kelsey, and Fletcher Cox. And those three in particular, there's a very good chance that this could be their last hurrah, going into this playoff run, considering their age and their contracts and all that. So I was curious, how big of a role do you think that's playing in the minds of everyone in that locker room? And do you think that could give them some extra juice to kind of try to, keep it alive for this veteran leadership who might be on their way out?
Yeah, I'm not around those guys, obviously, as much as the guys who play in the locker room. But in the little bit that I am around them, what I get is body language to me. This is a different vibe from Jason Kelsey. In the past, he was always, I'm going to think about it in the offseason. Everything I see and feel around him is, this is it. I could be wrong, but I feel like this is it. I feel like this season has really worn him down mentally. So that's where I'm at with Kelsey. As far as Brandon Graham, I've gotten the vibe all season long that Brandon has sort of been getting the sense that this is it. I don't know that he's at 100% feeling that way, but I think he's close to it. And then with Fletcher Cox, Fletch doesn't strike me, or I feel like he is ready to walk away. Now, his time with the Eagles may very well be done. And I think that's where that is at. But I think he would certainly kick the tires on perhaps playing somewhere else and not necessarily retiring. So two of the three guys I think are, in my opinion, this could be their last game, period. Fletch, this could just be his last game with the Eagles. Now, and to your question, I don't know. I don't really know how much these younger guys are really, paying attention to that or listening. I hope they are, because I think, when you think and look at these guys and you're sharing a locker room with a guy like Jason Kelsey, Hall of Famer, has to be, right?
Yeah, absolutely.
You look at Brandon Graham, who made the biggest play in franchise history. If you are truly a student of football and you are a teammate, you see those guys and what they've given, and you think, man, I got to go out there and give everything I've got in this game, because if I can buy Jason Kelsey one more game, by God, I'm going to do it. Yeah. I'm going to do my part to make that happen. I really hope that happens. And as they go down to Tampa, this is where I think a road game is not a bad thing. They're stuck in a hotel together. I'm hoping those kind of conversations exist to some extent, or those speeches that are given. I mean, Kelsey's a great speech guy, and maybe he'll give the speech that gets that going. Maybe Brandon Graham will. Fletch isn't the biggest speech guy, but he leads, and I think he's capable of getting through to guys. He's been having Jalen Carter under his wing. So what kind of a shot in the back will he give to Jalen Carter, perhaps? It's going to be interesting to watch. But, those guys are amazing. They are amazing talents. They have given this franchise a ton and this city a ton. And I really hope, as a fan, that they're not done, that we get to see them at least for one more game.
Hey, Scott, real quick, I want to ask you about the pass rush that you mentioned earlier on when you first hopped on, and, specifically the edge rushers, Hassan Reddick and Josh Sweat. Josh Sweat hasn't had a sack in over 2 months. Hassan Reddick hasn't had a sack in over a month. Do you think they can get back on track and just pressure Baker Mayfield at least a little bit tomorrow, against the Buccaneers offensive line?
I want to believe they can. I mean, I don't see how Hassan Reddick could go this quietly into the night, and Josh Sweat, like you said. I've got to believe that they are going to be able to get back there. And look, I mean, there's all those theories out there. They were playing possum and all that stuff. Like, come on now.
Ocho Cinco said they're playing possum.
Yeah, they were playing possum. Okay, they said we don't want the 1 seed. Yeah, okay, but there is some of the play, and I wonder if some arrogance got into it, right? Oh, it's the Cardinals. It's the Giants. They didn't go into it with their full playbook, and they didn't go into it thinking they needed to use it. And I think they went into it thinking we're going to sit here and just kind of we can beat them with some basic stuff. So whether they showed everything they have or not remains to be seen. I'll be curious to see how they go after Baker, because that's the way you win this game from a defensive standpoint. You get after that guy who, as I said, is not 100%. And I got to believe they've got the guys to do it. I got to believe they'll get there tomorrow.
All right, Scott Grayson, it's time for your 3 keys to the game and your prediction for the Eagles-Bucs Monday Night Football, a rematch of Week 3.
Well, the keys to the game, like it's obvious. You can't turn it over. We've been talking about that. No, but my number 1 key to the game is just ride DeAndre Swift and Kenny Gainwell. Let this team dominate time of possession. Let your offensive line do what they do. Run the ball. Number 2 is not turn it over. And number 3, I really think I got to see energy here. I got to see a quick start. I want to see a fast start. Not only that, they've got to come out and they've got to have a quick start in the second half as well. If they can start both halves with a little bit of energy, then I think that'll all be enough to carry them to victory.
All right, that being said, Scott Grayson, what is your prediction for Monday night?
I think the Eagles are going to win. It's going to be a sloppy game, but I am going to go with the Eagles here, and I'm going to take them to win. I'll say 20-16.
In a low-scoring game.
Yeah, I think
with
the slop
weather,
is
inclement weather.
Yeah, weather will play a role.
Quick side question: over or under 3.5 screen passes?
Oh God, I hope it's under, but I bet it's going to be over because the weather.
Don't tell me that. Come on.
Hey, Scott, we want to thank you so much. It's been a great year. Hopefully we get you another week, but if we don't, I want to thank you so much. You really contribute a lot to the show and make it a lot more fun than it would be. And we really appreciate having you on. And who knows, I might be with you guys at the Super Bowl. We'll see.
Oh, that would be great.
Yeah. All right, Scott Grayson, thank you so much. Enjoy the rest of your weekend, Martin Luther King weekend. Enjoy it, and let's go Birds.
You got it. Thanks for having me on, Billy. Good luck, guys.
All right. There he is, Scott Grayson. The keys to the game with Scott Grayson is sponsored by Blitz's Market, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City, New Jersey. Try their famous breakfast sandwiches, hoagies, gourmet burgers, and their vegetarian options. Online ordering is available at blitzesmarkets.com or give them a call at 609-399-9983. Start your day off with Blitz's freshly squeezed orange juice. Mention the locker room and get $1 off their 12 ounces of liquid sunshine. That's the Blitz's Market, located at 21st and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Go down there and say hello to Dave and Joan Newman. We'll remind people the first hour of the locker room is powered by Surety Title. Surety provides comprehensive title insurance protection and professional settlement services for home buyers and sellers, real estate agents, brokers, lenders, home builders, developers, and attorneys to facilitate your real estate purchases. From the shore to Center City and every place in between, Surety Title is there for you with 15 office locations in New Jersey and PA. That's Surety Title. For more information, call my good friend Ron Conklin at 856-988-8900 or give the Ocean City office a call at 609-399-1227. Just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. But were you aware of the private business network they call the Legacy Club? Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events and see it's a fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, when we return, we'll wrap up hour number 1. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schweim and the Locker Room Youth Movement, producer Danny Ryan and the intern Andrew Leeds, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Coming up on Monday's show, Super Wildcard Weekend is in the books, but the Eagles got the Bucs. We'll be breaking it all down live at Ocean Casino Resort. John McMullen, Casey Joyner, One Thought, every game, all that, plus the Sixers weekend, the Flyers weekend, and more. Monday, live from the gallery at Ocean Casino.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons for electrical. They're number one.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/Be Smart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
Hi, this is Brighton Richards from Apex East Roofing. You know, the blonde-haired girl in the pink truck. If you've been having issues with your roof from all the rain over the last few weeks, or if you're just worried about leaks from upcoming storms this winter, give us a call. We can be at your house within 24 to 48 hours for an estimate and install a new roof within 1 to 7 business days. We also do emergency tarping and repairs, as well as siding and gutters.
Get a price on your roof in 30 seconds at ApexEastRoofing.com.
When you open the Bet Parks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the anticipation of another face card, the thrill of an extra spin, and the pure joy of a jackpot. It's all your favorite games at your fingertips. Plus, get up to $1,000 casino bonus back if you're down in the first 24 hours. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
Must be 21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Joe Conklin here, and I'm excited to cheer on the Philadelphia 76ers this season with Parks Casino. Parks Casino, the #1 casino in Pennsylvania, is the official local casino partner of the 76ers. That's right. Two of the best brands in the Philadelphia area are joined together to bring fans what they love most, wins. Remember to tune in to 76ers games to get in on the Parks offers for fans. And to see me live at 360 at Parks Casino. Visit parkscasino.com for tickets. This is how you win.
This is
You want to roll? Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
just clean lines paint. CleanLinesPaint.com.
Are you looking to transform your home or business? Look no further than Clean Lines Painting and Power Washing for attention to detail, low stress, and no mess for residential and commercial projects. For a quality job, remember the name, CleanLinesPaint.com, changing the way New Jersey paints.
CleanLinesPaint.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 93 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, the Locker Room Youth Movement, producer Danny Ryan, and the intern Andrew Leeds. How'd I do with that one, guys?
That was pretty good. You're getting better and better.
So
the rust is coming off for sure.
Because, you know, I haven't done this in a while.
It's been 2 months. And
Hey,
that's a lot of shows.
so last night, you got playoff football on, the Flyers on last night. I have my daughter here with me in the studio. She was here with me last night.
Doopy-doo.
The doopy-doo. I made tacos, right? Did I make tacos last night? Hey, come here, AG. Did I make tacos
Let's hear
last
from the
night?
legend herself.
Come here. Did I make the tacos last night? Yeah. And what else do we have going in the fireplace? Nice big what? We had a nice fire.
Well,
right?
I hope you have a fire in the
Right, nice
fireplace.
big fire in the fireplace where Santa came down and we were watching the freezing cold Chiefs the Dolphins. And I was cold watching those guys, man.
No, I was going to say, I was curious if you were able to watch the game, if you were able to figure out.
Well, I have my little doopy-doo. She knows, guys, she's 8 years old, and she knows how to get me on Peacock. I don't know how to do that.
That's impressive.
She says, Daddy, what did you say? Sissy pays for that? Or what? So when you hit Peacock,
She's in the loop.
It says, Mom, what does it say? Mom, AG, and Dad. And you got to hit the button for what you put, hit it.
Yeah, your profile.
And yeah, she goes, she's walking me through it. She's 8 years old. Hit the dad.
All right, press the button, Dad. Here we go.
Just want to say this. We're talking a little bit, with concern to the Eagles, there are some bright spots. Like Jordan Mailata He's the only guy that didn't miss one snap on the offensive line. That's called durability.
Yeah, no,
Right?
I mean, he's had his ups and downs this year, but I mean, the fact that he has been able to be in there for every single snap is impressive. I mean,
What do you think about Landon Dickerson?
Beast.
Yeah, I like
He's been
him.
playing. And how about Cam Jurgensen?
I mean, Cam Jurgens, but yeah, he's
Jurgens,
been beat up a little bit. It looks like he's going to take over the center position if
Right.
Kelsey leaves. It was supposed to be Dickerson originally before they drafted
Do you
Jurgens
think Kelsey's
to draft
gone?
after.
You think Kelsey's gone this year?
From what Scott Grayson said he's seeing, feels
Yeah.
like it. And
Yeah, I
I'll
think
be
so,
honest
yeah.
too, like his body language, his frustrations on the sideline. I know he typically has those year in and year out, but it just looks like he's so drained. And
I think-
understandably so.
Guys, let me ask you. So people talked about the schedule. We all knew that the middle of this schedule was a daunting task for the Eagles. Do you think it beat them up? Do you think they just
100%.
You just couldn't. They just. I mean, it was too much. It was a bridge too far.
I mean, because you look back at those games, and sure, they won a lot of the toughest games that you would have thought on that schedule. But I mean, they were barely, they were
just-
ugly wins.
Because
They were
remember what they were
barely scraping
right.
by each week.
Remember what they were saying, Danny? Oh, we won ugly, but a win's a win in the NFL.
Yeah, it was like we had to turn our blind eye because a win is a win.
Right.
And they're winning, so we
keep
can't
the main
complain.
thing the main thing.
Right. And it was just a stressful 3 hours of football every single time you sat back to watch them. And everyone pointed that out. It was like, okay, the offense is kicking, but at the same time, they're fighting, scratching, clawing for every single point they get, every single touchdown, even field goal at that point.
It just and what to me when you see the quarterback when he goes off to the sidelines and he doesn't talk to anybody, he's interact with the offensive coordinator, he doesn't talk to his receivers, he's not encouraging the offense. He just has that blank stare. He just stares.
Something's wrong, and I think Jeffrey Lurie, High Roseman, they're going to notice that. And unfortunately, Nick Sirianni is probably going to be gone, whether or not I want him gone or not. I think he's going to be.
I don't think I ever saw Dan Marino, John Elway, any of the other greats, Joe Montana. They got in people's faces.
That's why you love
Tom
that
Brady.
He can stay calm under pressure, but it also comes to a fault when things are going bad and he's not standing up.
It's almost like a quarterback has to be a little bit rah-rah. A little bit at some point.
Were you rah-rah?
Absolutely, man.
All right. That's what I like
That
to
was
hear.
too much rah-rah.
You brought the juice.
All right, hour one in the books. Hour two, we'll continue more with Eagles talk, little Sixers talk, little Flyers talk, and more. It's a locker room with Billy Schwein, plus the fantasy football guru right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles playoff football. It's the Super Wildcard round as the Eagles travel to Tampa to face the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football.
First and 10 Bucs. Mayfield back, dancing around. He is set back at the 30. Fletcher Cox and Jalen Carter.
Pre-game coverage starts at 7. Maryland Mike call all the playoff action starting at 8:50. This is South Jersey's official home for Eagles playoff football. 97.3 ESPN. Brought to you by
Jenkins Plumbing and Heating at jenkinsandsons.com. Piccalilli Inn. Nobody beats the Piccalilli, Route 206 in Chemung. Frank Vincent Windows, Roofing, Siding, and Doors make your home look new again. BMW of Atlantic City. Shop our complete inventory online at bmwatlanticcity.com. Ocean Casino. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. And First Bank of Sea Isle.
97.3 ESPN FM is your official home in South Jersey for Eagles football.
Hey, it's number 59, Seth joining. Join me on the Bet Parks Sportsbook app, and you're in the zone. Bet Parks is the official casino and sportsbook app for the real Philly fan and the only app I recommend. Bet more than the score. Bet player performances like total passing and rushing yards. Bet total team touchdown. Bet who scores a touchdown. And nobody does live in-game betting better than Bet Parks. Bet on the action as it happens. Join me right now and download the Bet Parks Casino and Sportsbook app. New customers make a winning $10 bet and get $125 in bonus sportsbook bets back. Must be a winning bet, and bonus bets must be wagered once. The Bet Parks Sportsbook is the only sports betting app that I recommend. Live betting, parlays, props, teasers, they have it all. Like me, I'm sure that you love to play, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
Must be 21 in NBA, New Jersey, Ohio, Maryland, Delaware, 100 down.
Hi, this is Brighton Richards from Apex East Roofing. You know, the blonde-haired girl in the pink truck. If you've been having issues with your roof from all the rain over the last few weeks, or if you're just worried about leaks from upcoming storms this winter, give us a call. We can be at your house within 24 to 48 hours for an estimate and install a new roof within 1 to 7 business days. We also do emergency tarping and repairs, as well as siding and gutters.
Get a price on your roof in 30 seconds at Apex East Roofing. GameBiz.com.
Go to get your game on at the Gallery Bar Booking Games in Ocean Casino Resort this football season. Cheers your favorite drinks while cheering on your favorite team. Get in on the parlay while in the middle of a party. Go for the sports scene and go for the endless screens. Go to the Gallery. Go to Ocean. Go for the win. For more information, visit theoceanac.com. Must be 21 or older to wager or consume alcohol. Gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Home of the Philadelphia Eagles.
Thank God I'm a girl.
Sixers.
Bang, it's good. Ball game.
And Flyers. 97.3 ESPN, WENJ, WENJ HD, Millville, Atlantic City, a Town Square media station serving all of South Jersey.
Welcome to the locker room. Vince Papali, welcome to the locker room.
I can smell it already, Billy.
Ron Hayes, welcome to the locker room with Billy Schwein.
Yeah, hey, Billy, how you doing out there?
Rich Gannon, welcome to the locker room, Rich.
Thanks, guys. It's great to be with you.
Great Bob McElwee, NFL referee.
Hey, Bill, how you doing?
Craig Berube. Craig, welcome to the locker room.
All right, thanks, Billy.
We have the real Pat Croce in the locker room.
The bench, coach.
And now here's your host, Billy Schwein.
All right, we're back broadcasting live in the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, the intern Andrew Leeds, producer Danny Ryan. The locker room youth movement is back. And it's always good to get a fresh perspective from the young cat. And but I think to a man, I think none of us in this room have any confidence, as Grayson from Fox 29 News just alluded to, that this team can win. Although he picked the team to win 20-16, he didn't say it with any gusto.
Yeah, no, I think you hit the nail on the head. I mean, I'm obviously excited just because, it's Eagles playoff football.
Right.
I'm always going to be excited,
Yeah,
but I'm at
win.
I'm at the baseline level of excitement of just, okay, yeah, let's go.
By the
play.
way, Danny, with the jacket you're wearing, you look like Rich Kotite.
Yeah,
That's a Kotite jacket.
I've been getting my use out of this jacket. It was quite
I
expensive.
like that jacket,
and,
but if you look like you're right in the newspaper, the picture of Rich Kotite. By the way, Rich what's the worst collapse in Eagles history? Kotite, who started the season 7-2, finished 9-7.
That's pretty.
Or this year, because this collapse.
Well, right now it feels like we're 9-7.
Right, but this collapse is historic. I mean, you think about it, they were 10-1, and this could be like the equivalent to the 64 Phillies.
I think it's only the second team ever to start off 10-1 and to finish the season with only 11 wins, and that's in NFL history.
Wow.
So I mean, yeah, it's up there in one of the worst collapses in Philly sports. Even though they're still 11-6, they still have a good record. Everything seems fine. I mean,
it's crazy though. If there were like 20 games in NFL season, he might in the final 10 game stretch have gone like 1-9 or 2-8.
So you asked Grayson if you think Danny, you asked Grayson if you think Sirianni's job is on the line. He said we think it is. If they get embarrassed, if they get blown out and embarrassed, I think it is. If they win this game, you think he's fine. Or do you think, Lurie is down on the sidelines and he's not down there looking at the dead grass, like you said.
I don't know. I think
you think he's on a hot seat?
I think he wins this game. He's got more work to do. Like if you win this game, and let's say
I don't think this team is talented. Whose fault's that? That's not Sirianni's fault.
but they are talented though.
They don't have any linebackers or
the
defense.
defense doesn't have the
They
personnel.
lost
You could argue
6 guys last year to free agency.
Yeah, and things haven't gone their way with developing Nakobe Dean. The linebackers haven't played the way they
Kazir
would
White,
love.
they miss him. He played great last year, I thought.
Now,
Look, remember? I don't know if you remember. I used to remember
2 weeks ago. He's in the Cardinals,
right? Remember the linebacker Singleton, who's now playing with the Broncos.
Yes.
By the way, set a record for tackles. I can't believe he set a record for tackles, but they're 10 yards down the field.
Yeah, exactly.
Because that's what he did here. I thought Kazir White and T.J. Edwards played really well last year.
and T.J. Edwards played really well this year. I can't really speak so much on Kazir White because I haven't seen him, but T.J. Edwards was great in Chicago.
And as far as the secondary goes, they lost C.J. Gardner Johnson, and they lost Joe. No, they lost 2 guys out of the secondary last year.
What's his name? He went to the Raiders.
Yeah.
There's another safety.
Marcus Epps.
Marcus
That's
Epps.
it.
Marcus Epps, yep.
Yeah, and see, here's the thing. I mean, we pretty much also lost All-Pro James Bradbury when you think about
Right.
it.
Yeah,
how-
right.
Fell
'Cause he-
How
facing
he's
the
been
earth.
playing. I mean, he was literally an All-Pro last year, and this year been one of the worst corners.
And
in
I like
football
what I've seen
since-
from Eli Ricks. It's just that you plugged him in at the 3/4 of the season. He's had his moments.
Keely Ringo's had his moments.
Keely
as well.
Ringo's had his moments, but I think these guys have been out of position. They're by the way.
Well, James Bradbury has definitely been out of position. He's been playing as his own corner when he is better in man coverage.
Right.
but I don't even know if I trust him in man coverage right now
But
because he'll
that's
get beat downfield.
But that's the defensive coordinator. And by the way, how does Brian Johnson get interviews with other teams?
Yeah,
Do
he
they-
got an
have-
interview with the Titans.
Have they
and
been
the
watching
Panthers.
the Eagles' offense this year?
Yeah, I talked about it earlier this week on the Sports Bash, and I asked the question. I said, does the NFL view him differently than the Eagles organization, the Eagles fans do? Because I don't know what they're seeing, or if they think that it's Sirianni's limited playbook that Johnson can only pick and choose a few plays
See,
from.
that's
but-
why, guys, inside the organization, and that's a Canadian term, right? Organization. Inside the organization, the players know when they go to film room, the coaches, the players know what you're doing. They might not necessarily, Sirianni's not going to get up on the podium and call people out because they don't do that anymore. It's not like Tortorella sits a guy because he's not playing well, try to do that in the NFL or expose somebody because they're not doing their job.
Let me ask you this,
Yeah.
Billy. Who would you rather have right now as defensive coordinator? Sean Desai after his first, 11, 12 weeks this season, or Pencil Patricia after what you've seen in the past 6?
The Pencil hasn't shown me anything either, has he?
He's shown you, honestly, worse defense.
Worse
for
defense.
being quite honest.
But is it fair to him to judge him because he's come in 3/4?
He's
of the way
working
through
on the
season?
fly, yes. But also, he wasn't a good head coach over in Detroit. He was a pretty decent coordinator under Bill Belichick, but he kind of had Bill Belichick guiding him and polishing his coaching abilities. So I don't know what Matt Patricia is. One thing I know for certain, though, he won't be back next year unless they bring in Bill Belichick.
All right, let's get the peeps in. 609-403-0973 is the text board. 609-403-0973. What's wrong with the Birds? I mean, is it the coordinators? Who goes? Who gets fired?
Well,
Give us
Cole
some-
from
give
LBI
us some
chimes
stuff.
in. Cole from LBI says, when Jalen Hurts threw that horrible interception against my Jets when the Eagles had a chance to win the game, I knew something was different about Hurts this season.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Chime in. Give us your thoughts on the Eagles Bucs Monday night playoff tilt. We're talking about the secondary. You're going up against a pair of receivers that have also received over 1,000 yards receiving.
Yeah,
and
Mike
there are
Evans
only
and Godwin.
three receiver cores tandems in the league. They are Mike Evans and Chris Godwin, of course, for the Tampa Bay. Miami's Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle, and Eagles A.J. Brown and Devontae Smith.
Yeah, I mean, here's
the only three tandem receiver cores that have received over 100 or over 1,000 yards.
Yeah, I mean, this receiving core that the secondary is going to be facing is going to be a problem for them. But that's why we got to hope that this, like just Scott Grayson was saying, that this weather can hopefully be a blessing in
Did
disguise.
I see the Eagles? Did I see Jalen Hurts throwing wet balls yesterday? Did you see?
Yeah,
see
they were practicing with wet footballs to try to get used to the weather.
Picking the balls up out of that bin, and they were dripping with water.
Yeah, and I think Hurts is still practicing with gloves on because of the finger injury. But hopefully this weather will be able to, stifle their passing game. Also with Baker dealing with the injuries like Grayson mentioned.
Yeah, I mean, you have to get pressure on him. I can't emphasize that enough. If you're these edge rushers or even Jordan Davis when you're rotating in, which is just at this point in his career, I think it's a joke that he's rotating and should be the starter, but that's a whole nother conversation about his conditioning. But you have to get pressure on Baker Mayfield. He's already uncomfortable. He's got a beat up ankle. He's got beat up ribs. He's questionable for the game tomorrow. They might be starting Kyle Trask if Baker can't get up. Or if
Mr.
Baker,
Trash.
right. Or if Baker
He
can't.
don't need to be worthy of being a Baird man. Remember that son of a woman?
No.
Trash.
No. You got to remember, you're with the youth movement here, Bill.
This is the youth.
Yeah,
movement.
that movie probably came out before you guys were even born.
What was the talking horse's name?
Mr. Ed.
Yeah.
You know what? Actually, I saw a clip on Twitter, Mr. Ed, not that long ago. Looked like a great show.
Oh, it was funny, Mr. Ed.
See, like the talking horse I know is BoJack Horseman.
Still remember
not
that.
Mr. Ed.
Baker Mayfield quarterback rating the last time these two met was 73.1. He threw a touchdown and interception, but he only had 146 yards through the air. And remember, our defensive line sacked him a bunch. We had two sacks on him, and we stuffed him on the goal line. Remember that was out of safety we got in that first game.
Yeah.
Unfortunately, though, the defensive line hasn't looked the same since.
they haven't.
Pretty much. I mean, we talked about Josh Sweat and Hassan Reddick. Neither of them have been able to get to the quarterback as of late, and that's going to be something that they have to fix tomorrow night.
Well, how about we talk about something that might affect them next season, actually will affect them 100% next season. You were talking about guys really showing flashes and taking strides. Sidney Brown was taking some strides, and then he hits the MetLife turf and he tears his ACL. They're probably going to have to either bring Byard back or get another veteran safety.
And I don't think Byard's been playing well.
Nah, he's been picking it up, but he's not Kevin Byard of old, just like Shaq Leonard. They're not who they used to be.
Right.
So now you have to worry about you had an up-and-coming safety in Sidney Brown who played with his head on fire, and now he tears his ACL. You have to
but he'll
figure
make
out
a
plans
full,
for
he'll
next
make
season.
a full recovery. I mean, these guys are modern technology, man.
I bet he'll miss some time into next season.
He might miss a few games.
We'll see.
I mean, he did have that long interception, right, against the Cardinals.
No, yeah, I really liked what I saw from Sidney Brown.
He looked like a receiver on that pick six, by the way. He was.
I got to tell you guys,
the way
too,
he was navigating the field.
When I saw that Eagles bus going through Haddon, I was on my way to pick my daughter up from school. It was parked. There was nobody around the bus. I mean, I don't know if Barrett Brooks was a part of that, but I didn't see anybody.
We got a text from Joey D. He says, I bet after this season, Howie will value the linebacker position. Come on, Birds. It's a new season. Let's start playing football.
609-403-0973 is the text board. Chime in, join into the show with a comment. We'll talk about it. 609-403-0973. Jalen Hurts, I alluded to this too as well. He had a touchdown and 2 interceptions against the Bucs. He didn't play particularly well. His quarterback rating was 71.
Well, if they didn't run the ball the way they would have, they probably could have lost that game. I mean, Baker Mayfield, the Bucs played atrocious that night. You know, you mentioned it earlier with the safety as well, factoring that in. But like Scott Grayson said, there's literally a sign. It's a gaping sign from Mother Nature saying, run the ball. And you put it on paper last time with DeAndre Swift. 16 for 130, didn't get a touchdown, but who cares? You got the tush pushed in because you probably ran it to the 2-yard line.
I think the mantra that the Eagles want to follow is throw the ball. I think it comes from the top, the owner. It comes from the GM.
Yeah.
They want to be a flashy.
Then they're the cancer.
Well,
because it's. I mean, you agree with me, Billy.
It's a quarterback's passing league now, right?
That's fine, but your quarterback had a dislocated finger.
A power sweep.
I
from
know
anybody.
No,
Matter of fact, I think there's only one team that has a fullback. 49ers,
the 49ers, right? There might be one.
Is there another team that has a fullback?
Can't remember. I think maybe the Ravens might have one, but either way, regardless, I do agree. I feel like the Eagles having to pass the ball does come from up top. I mean, that's been a thing that we've heard for years. That Jeffrey Lurie, he likes having a passing offense, but sometimes you just got to look at your strengths and you got to look at the weather and say, hey, man, we just got to run it down their throat.
Well, I mean, there's 3 factors to me that show why you should not be pass heavy tomorrow night against the Buccaneers. One, Jalen Hurts, obviously, we talked about it. He's not reading the blitz well. His finger's dislocated. He's going to be uncomfortable during the game.
See how nasty that looked? I couldn't even look at that.
Well, Jason Kelsey talked about it. He goes, typically when that happens to him, you can pop it right back in. He's never seen it lock up like that and just stick.
It's like trigger finger. I got trigger finger. I've had surgery on 2 trigger fingers. You'll move your finger down and it won't pop back up.
Oh,
and it hurts. Like I had my finger stick. And I couldn't move it. I had to get surgery on my thumb too.
Oh,
that was horrible.
You've been through quite some surgeries in your lifetime, Billy.
All right, we're inching closer to the Monday night tilt, but we do have some games on today. I think the most intriguing game today is the Detroit Lions and the Los Angeles Rams. We'll talk about that on the other side. I want to remind people, for over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. The Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the locker room with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party, preparing for the big game. Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point. Tell them the locker room sent you. I want to tell you about Stan Insurance Group. SIG protection are the what-ifs keeping you up at night. Life is full of surprises, but with Stan Insurance Group, you'll never be caught off guard. Whether it's protecting your home, automobile, business, Stan will help you select the right insurance coverage at the right price to give you and your family peace of mind when you need it the most. Visit sigprotection.com for a free quote today. That's sigprotection.com. All right, when we return, we'll continue with more here in the locker room with Billy Schwein, producer Danny Ryan, the intern Andrew Leeds, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Wake up weekday mornings from 6 to 10 a.m. with Unsportsmanlike on 97.3 ESPN with Evan Cohen, Super Bowl champion Chris Canty, and Michelle Small.
Rye toast, the best toast, right? Would you agree with that?
Rye's terrible.
Rye's terrible?
No, I think he's got a point there. I think.
Why are you looking at me like that, CC?
No, because you're the only one that thought that quite
Dan and I like rye toast. What's the number one toast for you? If you have to get a toast, like with your eggs or whatever.
Sourdough, easily.
Sourdough.
Brought to you by the Gallery Bar Book and Games at Ocean Casino Resort in Atlantic City.
Ocean City's real estate market is red hot. You need an agent that has the knowledge and expertise to help. Contact Ocean City's top agent, Mark Grimes. Mark has been selling real estate for 30 years in South Jersey. He can answer all your real estate questions and find you the perfect property. He's available anytime on his cell at 609-425-2042. When Philadelphia Star athletes are looking for a house at the beach, they contact Mark Grimes, specializing in buying family homes, complexes, residential and commercial, as well as new construction projects or investment opportunities. Mark Grimes, he's your agent at the beach. Give him a call right now, 609-425-2042, or check out his website at grimes.com.
Hundreds of Volkswagens in stock and on sale. Hundreds of Mitsubishis, even 100 electric Pintelli golf carts in stock and on sale at Tom's River Auto Group. And not one a penny over sticker. Plus, Tom's River Auto has a Birds fan bonus. $500 off just for showing up in a team jersey, hat, socks, whatever. How easy is that? New or used, Tom's River's got plenty, but hurry. On sale, they're flying. Click Tom'sRiverAutoGroup.com.
Hi, this is ex-Philadelphia Eagles tight end Ken Dunnick, and I'm the current publisher of Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine, and I'm asking you to become a Camden County police officer and help make our city a better place to live. The Camden County Police Department is now hiring for sworn officers who are going to make a difference in our community. The first year's salary for the position is $51,000. So join the effort today to be part of something bigger than yourself. Visit CamdenCountyPD.org to apply online. That's CamdenCountyPD.org. Thank you.
When you open the Bet Parks app, you're in the zone. Winning is always a rush, but the money is in the moments. It's the confidence and underdogs covering, the tension before a clutch turnover, and the pride of a parlay paying off. It's another chance to win big with all-day action. Plus, win your first $10 bet and get $125 in sports bonus bets. You play for fun, you love to win. You bet. Bet Parks.
21 in Pennsylvania, New Jersey, Ohio, or Maryland. Gambling problem? 1-800-GAMBLER.
Hey, it's Joe Conklin from Conklin's Comedy Night at Parks Casino, and I'm psyched to cheer on the Philadelphia 76ers this season with Parks, the official local casino partner of the 76ers. Parks Casino is #1 with the hottest live tables and slots, great dining and bars, and the best live entertainment in the region. Need a fun and exciting game day destination? Get into Parks to watch your favorite teams in the Liberty Bell Gastropub or the Beer Garden. Visit ParksCasino.com. This is how you win.
This is how
You want to roll for gambling problem? Call 1-800-GAMBLER.
Trust Clean Lines Paint. CleanLinesPaint.com.
Transform your home with Clean Lines Painting and Power Washing. Right now, get free premium paint. Just pay for their labor to keep their team busy during the winter months when they can only work inside. Call now about their free premium paint for residential work. For a quality job, remember the name.
Trust Clean Lines. Clean Lines Paint. CleanLinesPaint.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room. Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, we're back here, broadcasting live at the Tom's River Auto Group studio right here in Northfield. Billy Schwein, producer Danny Ryan, and the intern Andrew Leeds, the Locker Room Youth Movement. As we get a different perspective from the young guys, it is a wild card weekend. Of course, the Buffalo Bills canceled their game against Pittsburgh. They're two cold weather cities.
Postponed.
Canceled today, postponed
Yes.
until tomorrow, what, at 4:30?
Well, I just don't want you to tell listeners like the game's not happening or something,
No,
right?
it's not happening today.
Yep.
Well, a little snow bother them. It's like, what, 2 feet?
Well, there's a travel ban in all of Western New York.
What did you
to
see
go
what
anywhere.
Buffalo was doing?
I know.
They sent out
paid $20 for people to shovel the sidewalk.
$20 an hour to shovel the stadium or the field.
I just saw they actually just put out a statement telling the fans, like, guys, respect the travel ban. We'll tell you when to come to the stadium. Really, as people were showing up, they were driving over when they're not supposed
Well, that's
to.
part of the reason they postponed the game. It wasn't really so much because of the field and the conditions on the field, but it was the conditions getting there and risking people's lives.
You know, Lindsay Moppert used to be an intern here, and she's now with, I think, CBS or NBC in Buffalo, and she's doing a great. She posted something on Twitter, Instagram of the wind and the snow. Blizzard condition, you can hardly even see.
Yeah,
I mean,
Buffalo
the
gets
snow's coming
crazy.
down sideways there.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Well, let me ask you, since we're on the topic, are you pro or anti-dome for every single
You know
NFL
what,
stadium?
Danny, I'm glad you brought that up because we mentioned this yesterday. With the way, I mean, it's 2024, and you're right.
You have the technology.
You have the technology to build domes and that could host a multitude of events, not just football,
And
but-
avoid situations
and
like
avoid
this.
situations like that.
Yeah.
But there's something to be said
I
for
didn't
playing,
think- yeah.
the frozen tundra of Lambeau Field.
I didn't expect you to love the domes because I feel like you're just a tough, nitty-gritty guy. Oh, I'll tough it out. Who cares? It's frozen water.
I'm torn, Danny, because I do like to see, even though like I do say I do kid a little bit, like watching that game hurt, but it you know what it shows intestinal fortitude. It shows that you know what the elements aren't going to beat us. We're gonna it looked like Mahomes was even a little extra fired up because they weren't just playing against the Miami Dolphins last night. They were playing against the weather, Mother Nature.
Right. I don't know how those guys can take a big hit, especially like Travis Kelce had no
Did you see the
sleeves
guy
on.
no sleeves on?
Mahomes' helmet.
Oh yeah, it got
Cold?
shattered.
Yeah.
I mean, unbelievable. Andy Reid's mustache is all you have to see.
So yeah, I do like it, but I mean, when it's that extreme, no, I certainly don't want to see games being canceled and postponed.
Yeah, see, that's the thing is like I don't like being a Philly fan. Obviously, I love the open stadium. I don't think I'd ever want a dome in Philly, but I mean, you do look at like it's like almost like life-threatening coldness out there. They were saying like that wind chill last night was no joke.
One of the guys
You
was
had
out there
guys-
without
yeah,
short
no-
sleeves. I mean,
there were
gotta be-
there were fans in the stands with no shirt on.
you can't be exposed to those type of elements for too long. You get frostbite.
Right. And that's what they were saying about the fans
But
too.
then,
in
they
negative
did have in
degrees.
the stadium. They did have warm-up stations.
Oh, really?
You know,
That's
they had
awesome.
areas where people could go.
That's the thing. The players are doing pretty good. They're sitting pretty because they've got the benches.
Yeah,
And sometimes
and
they're
those
so
benches
hot.
are heated. I've sat. Have you ever
Right.
sat in those
No.
benches? I have. It's you're warm. You sit on those benches. They blow heat at either end. They're just hollow benches.
And they've got heat blowing up towards your feet
And
too,
they,
right?
yeah, you see those white things that stick up out of the back
That's
of the
for the
bench?
helmets?
Yeah, you put the helmets in
Yeah.
that blows out heat to keep the helmet warm.
Yeah, as Jason Kelsey was talking about on his podcast this week, and he said it's so hot to the point where if you get like any bare skin or just like you sit on it long enough, it actually burns you.
Yeah, I've sat on it. I'll never forget. A buddy of mine took me to a Temple Eastern Michigan game, and it was so cold. It was a game in like late November, early December. It was so cold, and we sat on those benches because we were freezing. We were on the sidelines, and they really warm you up.
Yeah.
Now the players. I mean, you see the steam coming off their head, right? They're
Every
working up
time
a
they took a
sweat.
breath.
I think it's worse for the fans. You're sitting there. You're pretty much. I mean, you're cheering, but you're not really doing too much to work up a sweat.
Let's be honest, too. The game's going on. You've got your drink with you. You got your food. You got people around you, and you got a good seat. You're not going to want to go up to those warm-up stations. You're going to tough it out in the tundra, you know?
Plus the people in the stands are throwing them back, right? They're
Right.
drinking whiskey.
Yeah,
and
they're warm
whatever.
inside.
Yeah,
Maybe not
Did you
outside,
see
but inside.
People's drinks last night were actually freezing up.
You can't drink a beer in those stands in that type of condition,
No.
can you?
Yeah, they were keeping the drinks in the fridge to prevent them from freezing because it was warmer in the fridges than it was outside.
All right, let's look at our first game today is Packers at the Cowboys. Now, the Cowboys are 8-0 at home, you said, right?
This season, yeah,
This
they are
season.
on a 16-game
Plus
winning streak
I
at
was
home.
going to say they're 16 winning. They are very tough at home. And while I do like the Packers, Bo Melton, right? He plays for the Packers, right, from this area. And I just don't think the Packers have enough. Only because it's in Dallas, right?
I mean, yeah, they're in Dallas. They're under, the little dome. I don't know. It's just the Cowboys, or pardon me, the Packers. The Packers are on a heater right now, specifically Jordan Love. He was inconsistent in the middle of the season. He's been playing really good football. And if you can punch the Cowboys in the mouth and have them try and come from behind and try and fight back into the game, you might have them. Like the Cowboys thrive from big defensive plays and hopping out in front early and just riding that momentum, especially at home. If you can knock them in the jaw a few times, go up 2 scores early
Right.
and have them fight, they might have a chance here.
And there's nothing better than having the Packers beat the Cowboys on Wild Card Weekend. McCarthy's job, he loses his job's on the hot seat as well.
Yeah, I mean, we have those rumors, obviously, with Bill Belichick, with Belichick being gone, that apparently Adam Schefter, I believe, keeps saying that there's a mystery team who hasn't fired their head coach yet, who's completely 100% in on Bill Belichick. And a lot of people say
I can
maybe
see
it's
Jerry
the
Jones
Eagles.
doing that. I can see Jerry Jones doing that.
I could see him,
No
the
doubt about
Cowboys.
it.
I mean, it's a big name.
I think the most intriguing game for me, now I said this yesterday, I said, what about the Eagles? No. I think the most intriguing game is the Rams at the Lions. You got to bring Matthew Stafford coming back to where he played when he was with the Rams for how many years?
The Lions.
The Lions, what, 13? Was it 13 years? He's been there. He was around for a long time. Check that out for me. But that game, I'm pulling for the Lions. I want the Lions to win that game. Although the Rams have been playing great football.
Yeah, because it's weird. Because even though the Lions, they're the higher seed with the home field advantage, it almost feels just like naturally that they're the underdog just because they're the Lions.
Was it first playoff game in 30 years?
Well, they haven't won a playoff game in 30 years. They had a playoff game in 2011.
2011.
Yeah,
But,
first home playoff game.
First home playoff game
in like 30 plus
30
years.
Yeah.
Matt Stafford spent 11 seasons.
11 seasons at the Lions.
It's a revenge game for Jared Goff. I mean, they traded him because they didn't think he was good enough, and then they won a Super Bowl without him. So
the package, by the way, the Lions got, I mean, on top of other trades they made after the Stafford, but just utilizing the pieces they got in the Stafford trade to kind of go and make more trades. I mean, I'll tell you what, it set them up terrifically for their future. We're talking the running back Jahmyr Gibbs, their tight end Sam Laporta, obviously Jared Goff, among others, Jamison Williams, their wide receiver. I mean, that was all possible because of trading Matt Stafford. So it was a win-win for both teams, honestly.
I'm going to do something with you guys. I'm going to say, give me, when I say the Detroit Lions, give me an older player, first player that pops in your head. Danny, Detroit Lions.
Calvin Johnson.
Okay.
I mean, the first name that came to mind was Barry Sanders.
Okay, Barry Sanders.
Yeah, I'm going Megatron.
Outside of that, I mean, Megatron is the one that I grew up with.
Yeah, who are you thinking of?
I was thinking of Lem Barney. I don't know why that Steve's a Steve
Lem Barney. I don't know about
over here.
He was like a 70s cornerback or something. Chris Spielman, he was another one that comes to mind. The linebacker. You guys, this is way before your time. You guys,
I'm trying to think of some older ones, but besides Barry Sanders, I mean, the Lions are basically non-existent until
Alex Karras.
You say Lions. If I'm going to think of a Lions cornerback, I'm thinking Darius Slay. You know what I mean?
How about Alex Karras? You guys know who Alex Karras is?
No. I mean, the Lions, Billy, they're one of the 4 teams who have never even made it to a Super Bowl.
You guys, Google Alex Karras. Ready for this? He was a defensive lineman. Or he was a defensive offensive lineman for the Lions, and he had a TV show with a little kid. I can't remember the name of the show, but if you guys Google that, you'll find out that Alex Karras he went to Hollywood. He was an actor. You got that?
Yeah, he passed away in 2012.
But you see his career? He had a TV show.
Yeah.
What was the name of that show?
I'm trying to find the name.
Alex
of the show.
Karras. But Barry Sanders is the one. I mean, Barry Sanders is unbelievable. I want Detroit to win this game for Detroit.
I do too.
They've been, the epitome of mediocrity their whole for a long, long time.
I want Jared Goff to stick it to the Rams and say, all right, you got your quarterback, you paid all these assets for you, won your Super Bowl, it worked out for you, but here's my victory. Here's my punch in the face to you guys for thinking I wasn't good enough.
Exactly.
And I want him to prove it to them that he was good enough if they would have kept him. But that doesn't mean I think
Can you
that they're
imagine
going to
the
win.
celebration in Detroit, Michigan if the Detroit Lions beat the Rams tonight? They're going to go nuts. Tomorrow's Martin Luther King Day.
Oh, it'll be their Super Bowl.
They'll be out flipping cars in Detroit.
I'll be honest though. I think the Rams win this one. I think they've got the more experienced coach.
Find out the name of that show.
I'm finding there's a couple things he's been in.
Yeah, right. I'm trying to find it as well.
He's been in
What was it?
Webster?
Yeah, Webster.
He wasn't the main actor.
George.
No, he was like the father.
He played the character George Papadopoulos.
Yeah.
I believe him.
Webster.
Apparently, he was also in Blazing Saddles, which I have seen.
You young guys, come on, man. The locker room. I can educate you guys.
Hey, man,
I need to be educated on this?
Yeah. We educate you on technology.
It's called Detroit Lions history.
Yeah. You learn how to switch.
Alex Karras.
You learn how to switch the TV from HDMI 1 to HDMI 2, and I'll learn about Alex Karras. All right.
All right.
Learn how to buy Peacock and
without the help of your
daughter. All right. For 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. The Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the locker with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party? Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out their website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's the Circle Liquor Store in Summers Point. Tell them the locker room sent you. All right. I'm here to tell you about La Scala's Beach House in Brigantine. The food is phenomenal, and they did a really good job remodeling the facility. La Scala's Beach House in Brigantine opened to rave reviews in the summer. It's your home away from home for a large selection of Italian and American seafood favorites, just like your grandma made. Plus, you'll enjoy their famous pizza, daily specials, and their game day menu. Eat in or take out at La Scala's. They're open Wednesday through Sunday. They're located at 1400 Ocean Avenue in Brigantine. Every Thursday night is Brigantine night. Live music from 6 to 9 p.m. One free signature pizza per table. Drink specials include $2 Miller Lite, $3 Peronis, and $4 house wines. Visit LaScalasBeachHouse.com to check out their menu. They've got a big bar. It's a wraparound bar with huge screen TVs, not a bad seat in the house. The food's great. The atmosphere is phenomenal. Get down there to La Scala's Beach House. Let's eat. All right, when we return, we'll talk with my fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein right here on 97.3 ESPN.
Coming up on the next edition of the Sports Bash with Mike Gill.
Coming up on Monday's show, Super Wildcard Weekend is in the books, but the Eagles got the Bucs. We'll be breaking it all down live at Ocean Casino Resort. John McMullen, Casey Joyner, One Thought, every game, all that, plus the Sixers weekend, the Flyers weekend, and more. Monday, live from the gallery at Ocean Casino.
The Sports Bash, weekdays from 2 to 6 p.m. on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
Train presents The Unstoppables. Those captains of comfort, those gargantuans of the guarantee, those satisfaction savants who persevere perilously beyond probability as the raconteurs of reliability. Here's to Train's heralded heroes of heating and air conditioning, those comfort kings with a tireless tenacity for total turnaround. The Train Comfort Specialists. Just one more reason why it's hard to stop a train.
Hi, this is Joe Lenigan, owner of Lenigan Plumbing, Heating, and Cooling. Call us today for your free train system quote at 609-399-1200 or online at ocnjplumber.com. And please don't forget to ask for the military and senior discount.
Go Lenigan, again, go Lenigan, again.
Hey everybody, Tim Chu with ticksforgood.org. How would you like to go to the Final Four? That's right, at ticksforgood.org, we are giving away 2 tickets to the men's basketball Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona. Go to ticksforgood.org to learn how you can enter to win 2 tickets to the men's basketball Final Four in Phoenix, Arizona, round-trip airfare, and 3 nights accommodations. This prize is brought to us locally by Tri-City Kitchens, South Jersey's leader in custom cabinetry. Visit ticksforgood.org to learn how to win.
Every year, hundreds of children suffer from unintentional injuries or death due to unsecured guns. Camden County and Moms Demand Action South Jersey are asking for your help to reduce gun violence by spreading the Be Smart message.
Store guns unloaded, locked, and separate from ammunition. And talk to other parents about secure gun storage.
It's up to us to prevent these tragedies and save lives. Visit CamdenCounty.com/BeSmart to learn how we can stop gun accidents and deaths together.
The power's out at our house. Coffee table. But since our family has storm-ready Wi-Fi from Xfinity, we can stream or game in the dark. Oh, who moved the couch? So that's what we're doing right now, in fact, is I try and feel around for a seat. Ah, here we go. Oh, cactus? Can I get a little help over here?
Yeah, bro. Just let me finish this boss battle.
Sure, go ahead. Medic!
Now you can get fast, reliable internet on the Xfinity 10G network and get storm-ready Wi-Fi when you upgrade, so you can stay connected for up to 4 hours, even when the... Go to Xfinity.com, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Restrictions apply. Storm-ready Wi-Fi limited to customers within range of 4G LTE cellular signal. Speeds reduced to 30/7 megabits per second. Actual speeds vary. For more details, visit Xfinity.com/stormready.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Toms River Auto Group studio right here in Northville. Billy Schwein, my Locker Room youth movement, producer Danny Ryan, and intern Andrew Leeds. Back in the saddle. Of course, we're getting you ready for Monday Night Football. Eagles Tampa Bay Bucs in Tampa Bay. It's a rematch of Week 3 Monday night game, and of course, this is wild card weekend. Today we have the Packers and Cowboys, and the Rams and the Lions. The Buffalo Bills Pittsburgh game has been postponed until tomorrow at 4:30. So with that in mind, it's time for my fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Charlie's Bar and Restaurant in Summers Point, New Jersey, serving lunch, dinner, and spirits. Watch all the big games while enjoying their famous wings. Check out the full menu at charliesbar.com. Call for takeout at 609-927-FOOD. That's 609-927-3663. Meet your friends at Charlie's Bar at the shore since 44. It's Charlie's Bar. Let's go to the Toms River Volkswagen Sports Hotline and welcome in my fantasy football guru and yours, Brian Hartley. Good morning, Guru. So, hey, Brian, these young cats in here, the locker room youth, they didn't even know who Alex Karras was. Right? Remember Webster? Mr. Belvedere. Well, we were talking about, when I say Detroit Lions, like, what's the first player that comes to your mind, Guru? Barry Sanders, right. I said Len Barney just to be funny because he played cornerback. He was a really good cornerback for the Lions in the 70s. And I remember we had these books that we used to collect. Remember they had stamps? You collect all the stamps of the players from each team and you put them on if it's from like Sunoco or something. And you remember that? Yeah. And I remember them. Megatron. Mel Gray, yeah. Yeah. Jeez. And Chris Spielman played on it. He was a linebacker, right, for the Detroit Lions, I think. Yeah. Hey, Guru, I don't know about you, but I want the Detroit Lions to win this game. Yeah, I know. Right. Brilliant minds think alike. I said that yesterday. Hey, let's go to some fantasy football because there is the DFS, the daily fantasy sports that people are playing now, and also I guess playoff fantasy football. Tell us a little bit about like the leagues that you're in and what you're doing right now with fantasy football. Right. Right. It's a lot of luck. A lot of luck. Yeah, but you know what? They like we discussed this earlier in the program. They had to face the Chiefs and the weather. They had two opponents last night, right? Well, I got to tell you, Guru, that catch that bomb to Tyreek Hill, that was a magnificent catch and run. He finished it off by making a couple moves after a sensational catch and taking it into the end zone. And at that point, you're thinking, hey, maybe the Dolphins have a chance. Yeah. All right, fantasy football guru Brian Hartley, give us your picks. Who are you looking at today for the DSF fantasy today?
DFS.
What,
DSF. All right, fantasy football guru Brian Hartley. The Eagles head down to Tampa Bay to face the Bucs Monday night wild card playoff game, and of course we know the Eagles have lost 5 of their last 6 games. The Bucs have won 5 of their last 6 games. So how do you see this one shaking out? Wow.
Right? You mean they're not playing possum, Guru?
Chad Ochocinco lost all his credibility when he was smoking a cigar in his car on a Monday morning saying that. I just want to preface that. But, Brian, I do want to ask you, I mean, Baker Mayfield, he's obviously questionable. He's beat up coming into this one. I think he'll play. I think they'll give him some painkillers and he'll tough it out. But if he doesn't play, would you change your prediction? Okay. Right. Mm-hmm.
All right, Guru. You know, as always, fantasy football guru Brian Hartley. We really appreciate you. Do a great job, and I guess we'll squeeze one more week out of you next week. All right, Brian. Thanks. Enjoy the rest of your Sunday, Wild Card Sunday, and then Wild Card Monday. Thanks a lot, Brian. All right, there he is, the fantasy football guru, Brian Hartley, brought to you by Charlie's Bar and Restaurant in Summers Point, serving lunch, dinner, spirits. Watch all the big games while enjoying their famous wings. Check out the full menu at charliesbar.com. Give them a call for takeout at 609-927-FOOD. That's 609-927-3663. Meet your friends at Charlie's Bar at the Shore since 44. That's Charlie's Bar. I stopped there yesterday. I was at my French onion soup, and I had the salad wedge.
Onion.
Yeah,
They got some-
onion.
yeah, they got
They
good
have
stuff
a great
besides
salad
salads.
wedge, man. They
Yeah.
got one of the best ones around. Get down there for the salad wedge.
You're speaking from experience.
Yeah,
I
man,
mean,
I love it. How about Brian?
hate that.
He had to give me a little dig onto the fridge. You hear that? Did you hear that dig?
I was going to throw a dig at you on top of his dig, but I held back. I can
You gotta
restrain
watch out. I
myself.
pay you, so you gotta watch. All right. For over 83 years, the Circle Liquor Store has offered the best selection of beer, wine, and spirits in South Jersey. It's a stone's throw away from Ocean City. It's a landmark with a friendly staff. It's no wonder why Circle Liquors was named Best of Philly, Best of Atlantic City, with the most competitive prices around. The Circle Liquor Store is now a proud sponsor of the second hour of the Locker Room with Billy Schwein. Throwing a party, prepared for the big game. Let Chet and his staff make sure you have everything you need. Check out the website at circleliquors.com or give them a call at 609-927-2921. That's Circle Liquor Store. Tell them the Locker Room sent you. By the way, I want to give a shout out to Sal. He's listening to us in Brigantine, and he's enjoying the show. Also, just about everybody in our area has heard about the Jersey Man and Philly Man magazine that is run by ex-Philadelphia tight end Ken Dunnick. For you wear the private business network they call the Legacy Club. Every month, they hold private events at upscale locations in Philadelphia and South Jersey that attract over 200 top business people. If you have an interest in attending one of these events, see it's fit for your business, send an email to ken@jerseymanmagazine.com or give them a call at 856-912-4007 for more information. All right, fellas, when we return, we'll wrap it up. You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein, Danny Ryan, Andrew Leeds right here on 97.3 ESPN.
This is the radio home for Philadelphia Eagles playoff football. It's the Super Wildcard round as the Eagles travel to Tampa to face the Buccaneers on Monday Night Football.
First and 10 Bucs. Nathan's back dancing around. He is back at the front of it. Hunter Thompson, Jalen Carter.
Freaking coverage starts at 7. Carroll and Mike hold all the playoff action starting at 8:15. This is South Jersey's official home for Eagles playoff football. 97.3 ESPN. Brought to you by
GMS Law. Make the right call with 4 convenient locations to serve you and at gmslaw.com. Boardwalk Honda. Shop our lineup of new, pre-owned, and certified pre-owned Hondas online at boardwalkhonda.com. The Fan Zone at Sun Valley Pools. Unique fan gear and gifts for every fan of every team. State Regional Health System. Your healthcare partner for a healthier life in Dayton County. Jersey Shore Federal Credit Union. Choose better banking. And South Jersey Gas.
97.3 ESPN FM is your official home in South Jersey for Eagles football.
Finding an electrician that is dependable, prompt, and experienced is important. Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Service is just that. Service in Atlantic and Cape May counties for 40 years, Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services specializes in both commercial and residential work and provides 24-hour emergency services. No job too big and no job too small. Call Tom Jackson and Sons Electrical Services. They do it all. Call for a free estimate, 609-399-1999.
Call Tom Jackson and Sons are electrical. They're number one.
Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza on the pizza. You're gonna love it. It's got the perfect taste. It's a fine any place. Rendezvous Pizza is one right here. Rendezvous Pizza, Rendezvous Pizza. It's a pizza like you never had before. Easy to take it home, no matter where you roll. Rendezvous Pizza, the tasty is your fun. Rendezvous Pizza, the tasty is your fun.
Why would you call anyone else besides Randazzo's Pizzeria and Family Restaurant, 34th and Asbury Avenue in Ocean City. Open year-round, 7 days a week, offering free delivery on the whole island and to the beach. Pizza, pasta, salads, entrees, paninis, and wraps. Voted best of the shore. Call 814-1600. 814-1600.
Randazzo's Pizza, the tasty is your fun. Randazzo's Pizza, the tasty is your fun.
Winning means keeping our community safe. I'm Hassan Reddick, linebacker for the Philadelphia Eagles. 59% of our adults report experiencing gun violence or know someone who has. Just like we focus on our training, we need to focus on proper gun storage.
Firearms should be locked out of reach of children and only accessible by you.
If you notice any warning signs of violence, speak up. Tell someone who can help.
Let's tackle gun violence together. Visit CamdenCounty.com/gun safety to learn more.
97.3 ESPN has teamed up with Seize the Deal for incredible weekly offers from some fantastic local restaurants. Here's this week's big deal.
Get a $50 gift card, good for use at Jester's Dive Bar for just $25.
This great deal is on sale now at seizethedeal.com. Hurry, chances are this deal will sell quickly. For more info on this great deal, go to seizethedeal.com.
You're listening to The Locker Room with Billy Schwein on 97.3 ESPN and the free mobile app.
All right, we're back broadcasting live at the Tom's River Auto Group studio right here in Northville. Billy Schwein, Danny Ryan, the intern Andrew Leeds. Danny, we have some text messages. You want to read off?
Yes, we do. So we're going to start off talking about the Kansas City game last night again. We were talking about that earlier on the show.
Who said that text?
So it was, hold on, Jeff in Ocean City followed up with his original text and said tickets in Kansas City were going for $40 last night. The tickets,
who wanted to go to that game?
right? And some, you know,
Taylor
great
Swift went.
temperature.
You could actually see there was a guy right by the one end zone holding the Eagles.
Is that right? How about that?
I did see an Eagles fan upper level of the stadium. Really good as the coolest I've ever been. Had a Flyers beanie on, Eagles jersey, and then he proceeds to say tickets in Tampa are $100 for tomorrow night. A few people chiming in, anonymous texters about the Webster show.
What are they saying?
Somebody said Herman Moore's show is Webster. Was Herman Moore in it too?
Herman Moore might. I don't know.
Maybe.
I just remember Alex Garrett.
Yeah, Alex Karras. There is a text as well from an anonymous texter says, I think once again the Philadelphia Eagles paid way too much for Jalen Hurts, just like they did with Carson Wentz. What do you think?
Well, off his performance this year, I'd have to say, yeah.
They got put in a
is
tough
this just an
position.
aberration? Is this a one-time thing? Maybe just had a bad year.
Yeah, I mean they got put in a tough position.
Maybe Brian Johnson and Jalen Hurts are just too friendly. Maybe he's afraid to tell him the hard truth.
I mean, I think it's too soon to say that. I mean, it's 1 year. It's not like he had like a bottom 5 quarterback.
You got to remember, I got arguments with people this year about after like week 6 on Twitter when there was he's an MVP of the league. And I'm like, what are you looking at? You know, like how do you say
yeah, he has been an MVP, but he wasn't
last year. He played like it, and not this year at all.
But do you remember how awful Carson Wentz was that last year in Philly? Jalen Hurts hasn't been anywhere.
No, I
wouldn't
say he's.
I'm not ready to say it's an overpay yet.
No, I mean, I'll give him 1 more year.
And you also too, like you were paying him based off of the 1 year, the Super Bowl appearing year, and so you got put into a bad situation where you didn't necessarily want to give him that money, but you kind of had to.
But what I think did happen is because they had to pay him so much, they
Of
couldn't
course.
spend in other areas, and that's coming back to bite us in the A double scribble.
A double scribble. Danny the HT chimed in earlier and said it's expectation with this Eagles team. The coaches and players expect so much more, but for whatever reason, it's not there. Very deflating emotionally, and the Eagles as a whole are just entirely tired. He also said, I totally disagree with what Scott Grayson said about the window of winning. The Eagles roster is overvalued, especially on
I
defense.
think they're not as good as they were last year. Like I said, we talked about this earlier today. They lost 6 guys from last year's defense, guys.
Yeah,
It's going to hurt.
They did add some talent with Jalen Carter,
But they're
and
not
all
playing.
that, but
They're not
just-
playing up to their expectations. And
No,
I think
I
it's
mean,
'cause
last year-
And this guy, Jordan Davis, he's getting fined for being overweight every
Reportedly.
week.
It's not been confirmed.
No, it's been. I heard it. No. Are you sure?
I don't think it's been confirmed, but
I think it's been confirmed.
rumored to be true.
If that's true, that's not good.
All right, our last text about sports and not Alex Karras and Webster. We have, how about, or Matt in Delaware, how about those Flyers beating... hold on.
Talking about them.
Buckle up, hold on. Beating the team that has the second most points in the NHL. We all know they are not a championship team, but this young team is showing they are not afraid of any team in the league, and they rarely get blown out.
I love it, man. We talked about the Flyers earlier in the program. They've got a good mix of young and old, of some grizzled veterans. Couturier, to name one, even connecting. I mean, I wouldn't say he's been around now but he started to play really good hockey.
He's like the heart and soul of that team. If somebody's going to mess with one of his
Right.
guys, he's the first one to
just said
skate up
what
there.
I
and get
said,
in
he
their face.
reminds me like Kenny Linsman, almost like a little bit of a Bobby Clark with his attitude. Like
I love it.
Vicious, like he wants to win.
Yeah.
He's a gamer.
Cutter Gauthier didn't want to play here.
Can you imagine?
It's too
It's
scary
crazy.
for him.
It's just crazy to think if you would have told me in September that the Flyers and the Sixers would be the feel-good teams in
Right.
Philly
Oh.
over the Eagles. I mean, I would have told you you're nuts. But
Going
here we
into the
are.
Sixers season, if you would have told me the Sixers wouldn't have been a complete disappointment, they had good vibes, would have said, yeah, right, buddy.
All right, Andrew, give me your prediction for Monday night's football game.
Oh, boy.
By the way,
Yeah.
you guys like them being on Monday Night Football?
Not really.
No, I don't
I'm not a
either.
big fan
All right,
of it.
good.
but
Give me your prediction. Andrew Leeds, the intern.
I'm going to keep it positive, kind of in the same boat as Scott Grayson. I don't think it's going to be a high-scoring game. I've got the Eagles winning 24-20. I think it's going to be a nasty, ugly game. It's going to hopefully be a lot of running. I think Brian Johnson is going to, listen to what we're saying and run the ball. I have high hopes. I don't know why, but I do.
You and Harry Callis singing high hopes. All right. Danny Ryan.
All right, so week in and week out here in the locker room, back when you were at the Trop, I would go with, or I should say I would go against my gut.
Right.
Every single time I had a bad feeling about this Eagles team, and I would go against my gut to be optimistic, wear the green glasses. I'm not doing that this week. I can't do it
You
after
wanted
what
to
I've
appease
seen.
your listeners and be like a homer.
I wanted to feel good about the team that I support, to be honest with you, and think they could win games
trying
against
to-
horrible teams.
You're trying to talk yourself.
What do you got?
So I'm going to go Buccaneers 24, Eagles 17. I don't think the Eagles get it done. They're in too much of a cold streak. What say you, Billy Schwein?
I say the Tampa Bay Buccaneers win this in a low-scoring game. I think they win it 20-17. A close, slow score.
All right, we have a similar
Yeah,
score.
all three of us are on the same rate.
Yeah, I hope Andrew's right for the sake of the
Yeah.
team, but we'll see.
All right, great show, guys, today.
Flew by.
Well, it was a lot of fun, and
Fastest
had
2 hours
the
of
locker
radio.
room youth movements back
Great
in
to be
place.
back.
It was a
Great
lot
to
of
be
fun
back.
today. You guys liven it up, even though you don't know anything about Mr. Ed or Webster. We'll educate you here in the locker room.
Who's Alex Karras?
All right. Hey, thanks for making the locker room part of your Sunday, because nothing could be finer than talk with sports with the Schweiner. We got playoff football here later on 97.3 ESPN. Check it out. We'll be back with you next week. Same time, same bat station, right here on 97.3 ESPN.
The preceding program was paid for by The Locker Room with Billy Schwein.
You have the choice, whether it's going out to dinner or ordering takeout at a local restaurant or buying that new outfit from a